when you're older. I'm telling you, you don't change, you know, and sometimes, you know, you work for these, you've been there yourself, models with, or clients where they want younger models. Okay, but they don't realize that fast they're going to be 40, 50 years old themselves, and they're going to still want nice, beautiful clothes and earrings and accessories and purses. You're always going to be that way. That's who you are.
Right. That's in our soul. That's in our hearts. And our minds, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my, so that's on the Lane Bryant. So that's how the modeling piece started. So how did you get connected with like a Ford and a QVC, you know, an international travel? Because I know you have been abroad for many companies.
And Lane Bryant sent us to Hong Kong twice a year. And we would model for Les Wexner. And his, we would model the new fall line or the new spring line. Sri Lanka and Indonesia and around a lot of places. I loved it so much. I never thought in my life I would ever be a model. When they picked us up in Hong Kong, they picked us up in a Rolls Royce. I had never been in a Rolls Royce in my whole life. and then took us to this fabulous hotel, the Shangri-La Hotel, and we had our own rooms with 3-foot deep marble bathtubs and paid for all expenses for like 10 days. So anyway,
Did you get the welcome Miss Murray on the television and all this fabulousness and, you know, all of that?
Yeah. Well, then after while I was at Lane Bryant, I had an opportunity. My daughter talked me into doing a beauty show, a pageant in Chicago. And one of the judges was from Ford Chicago.
Woo!
Yeah.
God is in alignment. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm telling you, there's so many. My whole life is that, you know, God has opened doors that nobody could open for me. And what much younger, prettier, thinner models would kill for, God handed it to me.
Because it was for you, Terry.
Huh?
It was for you.
Yes,
it was meant for you.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I went to that pageant, and I had about 10 friends that went with me, and I was the older lady in the group. I came in first runner-up in my division, size 18-20. And the lady from Ford Chicago said, you need to go talk to somebody in New York. So she got me an appointment with Wendy Ford. You believe that? Who would do that? I mean, you know, you've probably been to Ford. They go, no, sorry, we got someone just like you. We got someone like you. We got someone like you.
I've been there, yes. You're too short. You're too that. You got an appointment with the woman who, what?
Wendy Ford. And she interviewed me. I know. It's just amazing. And I was 54 years old when I moved to New York. I was a grandmother when I became a model at Lane Bryant. So,
guys, listen. Never give up. Oh my God.
This is a great time for plus size women and mature women. It's a great time. So anyway, about a week later, I was back at Lane Bryant, and Wendy Ford emailed me or something. I don't know. Back then, it was probably a voicemail. She said, we want you to come to New York. No, oh my God, no. Kidding. And it just so happened, she said, there's someone here that knows you. And I said, who would I know in Ford Model?
In New York, right?
And here this lady would come, Lazarus would bring her in, or Macy's, for a plus size show every year. There were only 2 of us in Columbus at the time that did plus size modeling. So she, this lady liked me a lot. They would bring her in from New York, and she remembered me. And she told Wendy, she said, Wendy, I want to take a sabbatical, and I want to give all my clients to Terry.
What?
You know how amazing that is.
Everything's like lining up.
Right. And so I went in the summer, and I met all my new clients. And one of them I'll tell you about in particular. They said, we really like you. We have the vice president we want you to meet. And she walked in, and we just went, oh my gosh. Here she was, a lady I worked with at Lane Bryant.
Nice.
In Columbus. that's a good time to bring this in. Don't burn your bridges, because you never know when you're going to meet somebody else years down the road that will help you in your career.
Yes.
So I couldn't believe that was her. And she said, "Oh my God, it's Terry. Of course she can do it." So in September, I moved to New York all by myself. Didn't know anybody. Never lived anywhere but Columbus, Ohio.
Wow.
So my agent, Anthony, you know Anthony, and
of course,
NSA. I love Anthony. He's in Buffalo now. I don't know if you know that.
He is, yes.
So well, I was with Ford, and then I went with MSA, Model Service.
Yes, Miss Susan.
With Anthony. And they didn't know me, but they knew the name TERRI, because they had been working for a model there for Lane Bryant. So I went in there, and Susan came in. She goes, "Oh my God, we want you to come here." Because some of the models,
dollar signs, when she sees I start talking woman, she's like, "Okay, yeah." I remember when she saw me the first time, she was like, "Okay, I'm sending you here." Yes.
Well, she knows what's a good thing when she sees it.
Yeah.
She does. No, and then Anthony always said, "Oh my God," he goes, "the camera loves you. The camera just loves you." So I didn't know that, but he said that. So anyway, that's how I got there. And then, I don't know, many years, I've had so many great opportunities. The Tyra Banks show, 60 Minutes, Today Show, I was the glamorous grandma.
Ooh.
And all the other people, even though I was the only one dressed up, they had me in this giant brimmed hat, all decked out. And my daughter in the show and whatever, my grandkids were just, casual. I don't know why they had me so dressed up, but so those were, I've had so many. I was on the Barbie float in the Macy's parade. I've just had so many great opportunities.
So many accolades, so many opportunities. Wow. And TERRI, this is so inspiring. This is why I started Model Meetup, because a lot of us models and creators, we don't really get to talk about our journey.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, whether they're modeling already or they want to start modeling, they get down on themselves, especially, older women, more mature women, or plus size women. Oh, they're still not comfortable in their bodies. They go to one agency and they tell them no, so they feel like they can't do it. But now, in this age with Instagram and Facebook, and it's like you could create your own niche. And I always say, especially for fit models, it's like, you go after it, but you're chosen. And see, everyone, this is why I always say that, especially for a fit model in particular, you get chosen. Even if you don't see it coming, it's gonna come. Hi, Amy. We love Amy. Yes, Amy, TERRI's journey is just super amazing. So now you're doing all that. You're in New York City. And of course, can you tell us a little bit about, making that decision to go to QVC? Because now you are a New York model. You're in New York. You're working for different companies. But then you make the decision now to go to QVC. What started that?
I guess that they were looking for a fit model, and they're in Westchester, Pennsylvania, which is right outside Philadelphia, only a couple hours from New York. The studio is. And so someone gave them my name, and they contacted me, and I went out to QVC to interview, and they offered me the job. And what was neat was that I worked there 3 days a week. So the other 2 days I could still service my clients in New York. I
remember that was one of the last times I saw you, like getting out of a cab. Yes. Oh, she's here. She's in the city.
Yeah, it was great. It was really a great experience.
Wow.
I don't know how, sometimes I guess you just keep plugging away and trying to do the best you can.
Right.
And learn everything.
I think, which I love to always try to do for myself, we make our work hard for us, because people, are going to recommend you. That's it. So you have to be professional. You got to be the best you can be. And, people will always recommend you.
But I think people like you and some other fit models that I know, they're wonderful and they're good at what they do. And I'm just so happy that someone recommended me and that they called me. It was it was a great experience.
Yes, it was meant for you. So when you're there at QVC, you do 3 days. So you just go to QVC. That's it. Tell us a little bit about the day in a QVC of a QVC fit model's life.
It's so fun. I mean, it was the whole day, and every hour or every half an hour, and they would a new team would come in with the technical designers and the buyers. Let's say I'd have an hour fit with tops or a certain designer. Let's say Isaac Mizrahi or whatever, and then the next hour I would have a different designer. They didn't always come in with the team, with production and the technical designers. Technical designers are the ones that make the numbers up. You know that.
Yeah.
Spec. And every Monday I had to get measured in my underwear. Make sure, because it's very important for a fit model to stay the same size. All the other sizes come off of your measurements.
Yeah. So you have to be consistent. That's another thing. Your body measurements have to be the same all the time. Yeah.
And you know what else I think is so important is if you're going to be a fit model, you need to learn fractions. You need to learn how to measure. You need to know how to speak. You need to know the terminology, because that's what makes you valuable. To your clients.
Right. Yeah. So you have to learn that. So I know you did QVC and you were there. How long were you there, Terry?
3.5 years.
Woo! You were there 3.5 years. So that really turned out great.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So now on to, I love how your career just keeps rolling over and newness and transition kept on coming to you. So why did you decide, to start Terri Murray Models?
Well, my time was up at QVC, and my daughter was ill back here. I always have lived in Columbus, Ohio, and I left everybody and everything and moved to New York. But anyway, I had turned 65, and I thought maybe it's time for me to go back
to Ohio.
Okay. And have you ever done something where you kind of know it's time to move on, but you don't because the money's good and you want to do this, you want to do that?
Yeah, so true.
God has a way of moving you out. It's time to move
out. God has a way, right. And you know in your heart too when it's like, you know what, you feel it in your heart.
So I came back here, and I miss New York a lot. I really do. I love New York.
Yeah.
But I thought, what am I going to do here? But all of those big fashion houses are here. All of them. Just about all of them. I mean, with, talking about Lane Bryant, Catherine's, Cacique, Victoria's Secret, La Senza, they're all here. Here. So I thought, I'll just try that. And plus, when they knew I came back, they wanted me to come and model for them.
Yes.
So they called me and had me do some modeling for Catherine's and for Lane Bryant. And anyway, they started asking me for other models. And you know how hard it is to find a fit model.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially locally.
Yes.
Other than a New York professional model, it's hard because other out-of-town models, sometimes they don't have the training, they don't know the terminology, they don't keep their body the same, they don't know it's a real job, so they want to do other things. Yeah.
And they don't want to, I know Lane Bryant doesn't want anyone outside of Ohio. QVC doesn't want anyone outside of Pennsylvania or New York. Close.
Right.
They want local.
They want local, right.
They like some of my models on my website, but if they don't live there, they can't use it.
They don't want to do it.
Even if my models swear they'll move to wherever, they just won't do it. It's just not worked out real well for them.
Right, because it's a commitment thing, right? Because you were there 3 years, right? And you're 8 hours, like you have to be in there 3 days a week. Yeah. Okay.
And I'll just share this just as a little thing that, part of my skills as a model, an agency owner, is negotiation skills. And when I moved to QVC, I made sure I had a contract that I was guaranteed so many hours a week, and so much money an hour.
Oh.
Terry, okay. This is like one of the most important things that a lot of models don't think about when they're starting. They're just so excited to do, and they don't really think about, you know, the importance of covering themselves, about different contracts. God, he knows I learned my lesson with certain contracts, that with certain things that I went through, which I will never do again, you know. So that is one of the most important thing as a model you should be looking for in a model agent, is the you know, knowing your worth. And because you come from, you know, a caliber of models and a caliber of certain agency, you know what the rate's supposed to be, and you know what, so like, you're not supposed to be fitting 25 garments in the space of 1 hour. It's only should be like 6, and a go scene should not be trying on like 10 garments. It's only 2. If they're trying to measure on you,
they're trying to fit on you,
they're trying to fit on you
without paying you.
Things, right, you have to know, and it's so important. So I was getting questions before you even came on. One young lady, she is a straight size model. I think she's a size 8, and she was wondering if you represent other sizes than plus sizes right now.
I am definitely expanding. I have another 2 other ladies that are straight sizes in New York. Actually, I've been contacted by a designer in New York and one in Delaware. They want virtual models and regular models to come in. So yes, I'm expanding. I'm also expanding in petite and tall.
Wow.
And I've been asked several times to do the straight modeling, but I'm glad I have this time to get my feet wet and discover.
Because how long is your agency going now?
It's been 6 years maybe.
Oh, 6 years already. Wow. Oh my goodness. Listen, Terry, I just want to congratulate you. You are such an inspiration, and thanks for coming on. I mean,
thank you.
I feel like we could talk forever. You know, we should definitely go a little longer. Does anybody have any questions? Hi, Harmon. Hey, Jeannie. Gee, Terry said she's looking for a petite. Hello.
I've already got Jeannie. She's my petite consultant.
Ooh. All right. So Jeannie's on board already. Yes. She's like, petites are important, definitely.
Yes.
Tall is important, all of that. Yeah. I mean, I remember my dream was always to model for Lane Bryant, Terry. So if you could get me in there, even now.
Oh, yeah. You know I would. If it's at all possible, you would be in there. That is for sure.
Yes. Listen, guys, you cannot be too bold and too great to ask. You know, that's another thing. You have to ask. You have to open up your mouth. And remember, never give up on your dreams. I was sent by Anthony to Lane Bryant once, and this is what I always... Oh, Terry, can we talk about this a little bit? Being on time. That was a hard lesson I learned that day.
Oh, my God. And looking halfway decent.
Yes, I was not on time. When I got to the casting, the team from Lane Bryant was gone. So, you know, sometimes we mess up on our own opportunities too. So you have to be on time, punctual, looking great, and all of that. Let's see. Sasha said she posted a question. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. What has been the biggest challenge for bookings during the pandemic? Thank you, Sasha. That's from Sasha, the Glamazon.
Oh, I love Sasha.
Yes.
I don't remember me, but I love her. Oh my gosh, I've met so many wonderful people. And the biggest challenge has been that the actual corporate offices are closed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's just been a real difficult thing. They just reopened a little while ago, and some of my major models were in for 1 or 2 days, but they closed again for the fit modeling.
Oh wow!
For the design, they don't. My models also do design showroom and that kind of thing too.
Okay.
So that's been the biggest thing. But on the other hand, it's opened the doors for virtual fits. I have a model that is fitting 3 times a week or more.
Yes.
Virtual fitting, and that was not possible. Once in a while, you'd do a fit overseas or something like that, video fit.
Terry, I don't want to put you on the spot, but can you give us some tips of the do's and don'ts of virtual fitting? Like maybe 2 tips?
Well, like you said, the biggest thing is to be on time. Our people drop them off at their house at the model's home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like Gwen, you know, I have to give Gwen credit too, because I met her before Fashion Week was even a dream in her mind. And she has been so influential in my life in New York. But she always says, and it's so true, I tell my models the same thing. You're late if you're not there 15 minutes before.
Yes.
And that is so important. And I've even had sent models to New York and they don't want to see them again because they were late.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So for the virtual, even though it's virtual, because I know that with myself being a Jamaican, I have to be extra.
Yeah.
I have to be extra early to not be late.
Right.
So I'm virtual, even though I'm home, I make sure everything is set up. I'm in my home studio. I make sure it's still a routine. It's almost like I'm getting dressed to go to the city, and and then I set my clients back to back to back for virtual. And one thing that I wanted to point out too to any models who are doing virtual, do not let them record you. That has to be in the contract. That's more money if they hit that button record. If you see the record sign on your Zoom or Microsoft Meetup, whatever, you have to tell them, listen, I'm sorry, we did not discuss recordings. If you need a recording, you could discuss that at another rate.
Yes.
Okay.
What is this for? I have HSN. Right. I just got HSN as a client, and I scouted a model down in Florida. She's so fabulous, and HSN is using her. She's doing a photo shoot for them tomorrow. So
very nice.
And then when they called me, we discussed the money and everything, and I said, "What is this for?"
Yeah,
if it's just take pictures in underwear, whatever, but if it's going to be used on the website or whatever, it needs to be paid. You need to be paid more.
Yeah, because you have to know if there's supposed to be residuals. Like, it's so much to it. So, Terry, like, you are the perfect model agent. I mean, model agent, model manager, model mom.
Model mom, that's right.
Oh, I think there's one more question here.
Okay.
From Monique, and she says, will you consider models in Georgia for plus size?
Of course. I mean, I don't promise any model anything.
Yes.
The only thing I promise you is that I'm going to do whatever I can to make you successful.
Yes.
I can't guarantee that you're going to be any more than when you graduate from law school. You're not going that you can get a job right away.
Yeah.
But I will do whatever I can, and my ears and my eyes are always open to what the opportunities are.
Right.
I've got models, I'm getting models all over the place, but and I don't know where it's going to go, even with the expanding to the petite and tall. But I have a gut feeling it's just something I need to do, and we're just going to go with the flow.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you know it all. I mean, so you will do, amazing things, of course, definitely.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you. You're so
sweet. My last question right now is, so how have, COVID changed your life, like your life in general, and how has it affected work? I mean, Sasha kind of asked about the pandemic, but, with COVID, like, how is your mindset and how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I do get out pretty often. And I've been to Florida, and I'm glad I went to Florida. I found this wonderful model. Of course, finances are a little more tight than they used to be because the corporate offices are closed, and they're not having the meetings they had regularly all the time.
Yeah, with the buyers and everybody coming in and everybody meeting. Because I know Market Week for lingerie was like canceled. And I'm like, oh my God, like if you do a showroom and all that stuff, it's like, your bread and butter, and that's a lot of revenue lost for some people.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And our models, they're asked to wear masks now when they go into the buildings when there is something.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely been something where we've all had to make sacrifices. and change. But on the other hand, too, I never had that much modeling bookings for virtual models.
Right. Now it's building up. I think it's gonna be a new way. Even
I do
if
too.
you go back.
I do too.
Because I know, like, even a lot of my clients, they really love it. Like, they love my studio, you know. And of course, when you are very technical, you could definitely fit on virtual, like even better than being in person.
Oh,
really.
yeah.
Because everybody's more focused. That's what I like about the virtual fitting. It's very focus driven. So Sasha has one more question. You have time for one more, Terry?
Sure.
Everybody loves you.
Sure.
So, Sasha says, with the big and tall field for men booming, that's so true, will you consider expanding to men soon too?
Oh, that's my heart. I would love to. When I was in New York last time for when they had that first big and tall show, I was like, oh my gosh. And so one of the guys, designers in the show, is from Cleveland. So I asked him, would you be willing to do a big and tall show here?
Right.
He would. I haven't talked to him since, but definitely that is in my plans. When I see a big guy coming along, one time I asked the guy if he wanted to do a big and tall show or something. He thought it was crazy.
Wow. Hello, Mogul. The Mogul is on. Gwen.
Oh, Gwen.
We just talked about you. You heard her name.
Oh, I know. I'm telling you. Gwen was one, and Sharon and Madeline were the first three people I met in New York.
Wow, and those are great people to meet.
Yes.
I mean, God just lined up so many great things for you, Terry. Just, no nightmare stories, just full on. And I love that and of course, I'm sure you had to have discernment on who you really are supposed to be around and who is, you know what I mean? Yes. That's a good thing too, to have. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and be confident in yourself. Because, I mean, with all these young models going all around, and,
I know. There's so many of them. But I am just so excited about all the wonderful women that I have met in my trips to New York, and the opportunities that everybody was so kind to recommend me. The reason I was on Tyra Banks, I just want to tell you, is because Jeannie Ferguson emailed me one day and said, there's this company that wants a model for television, and I just thought you might want to apply for it. Didn't say who it was for. I called them on Sunday night or Sunday, and they called me right back, and they said, I don't think you'll work for this one, but how about this one? So they flew my sister in. Woo! I know, and because we were both, she's tiny, all my sisters are tiny, and I'm a big girl, so they wanted to talk about that. It was Tyra Banks. I had no idea.
Wow.
The producer called.
Wow.
The next day, my sister was flown in, and on Tuesday, we were in the studio on Tyra.
I'm telling you, when it's for you, it's for you. And nobody can take it. And you have to just go with it, too. You can't be like, oh, I got this tomorrow, I got that tomorrow. No. What's happening with show business, it's like, hurry up and wait, or you better hurry up and get there and be on point. Definitely. Or you will lose out. Definitely.
Exactly. But I'm loving what I'm doing right now. So, and if anybody needs some advice, I'm more than happy to help you in any way.
Okay. What? Terry, you are a model. I know you're the big shot owner of your own modeling agency, but once a model, always a model. So we have to do a pose-off. Yes. So, on the count of 2, I'll turn the music on, and we just do some posing.
Sitting down or what?
Yeah, sitting down is fine.
Okay.
Yes. Let me turn the music on.
I love you, Tricia. I love you.
Oh, I love you too, Terry. It's so refreshing to see you and talk to you. you and hear your journey. We go way back.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, way back. Oh my goodness. It's just so awesome. You are truly anointed to do what you're doing.
Oh,
I know that the next couple of years is just going to be more awesomeness, more glam, more fabulosity. Oh my goodness, just so, so great. Thank you guys for joining. Oh my God.
Yes, thank you.
Sasha, Gwen. Hey, Gwen. I got to get you on here.
I know.
Yes, you and Miss Sharon. Yes, yes, yes. So thank you guys so much for coming on. Thanks for all your questions. And TERRI was just such a great trooper and guest, definitely. All right, TERRI. We will talk.
Love you.
Love you too. Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. So guys, thank you so much for joining Model Meetup Take 34. It was a pleasure just sharing Miss TERRI Murray with you, her beautiful journey, everything that she has done in the industry. And watch out, if you want to be a model, you could definitely go to her site or just DM her right in her DM on Instagram at TERRI Murray Models. All right, you can DM her right there. She is a great woman, very approachable. So don't be shy. Remember, you have to open your mouth and ask for what you want. All right? All right, guys. I am signing off. That's always a and of course, I am wearing my own line. Hello. I'll see you guys next time. And wait to let you guys know who the next guest will be on Model Meetup. Bye.